At this very moment, there is a manhunt for the person who shot and killed the CEO of a leading health insurer. Brian Thompson was the head of United Healthcare for the past 3.5 years. Police say he was targeted in this morning's premeditated attack outside of the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. That's a busy commercial area. Thompson went to a hospital where he died. Police are still searching for the shooter, who had on a mask and was last seen eastbound on 6th Avenue.
It appears the suspect was lying in wait for several minutes. And as the victim was walking to the conference hotel, the suspect approached from behind.
CBS News' Crime and Public Safety Unit Coordinating Producer Anna Schechter has been following all of this closely. So, Anna, what specifics do we have that indicate that this was a targeted attack?
Well, people were walking by the hotel while the suspect was waiting for those 5 minutes, waiting for the victim. He was hiding behind a vehicle so that he wouldn't cause suspicion. He was wearing a mask, and he clearly had experience using a weapon. So when the victim walked over from his hotel at the Marriott, just down the street, crossed the street over to the Hilton, just a few blocks from here, the suspect walked around the vehicle just as the victim walked past and shot him in the back several times. The first bullet we've seen in surveillance video hit the victim, and the shooter continued to shoot. We see now, we've just learned he used a silencer, so he was ready. He pushed the tab for the suppressor to quiet that shot just before pulling the trigger. And then he fled. He fled north on 6th Avenue, jumped on a city bike, and actually rode north into Central Park. And that's where we lost a trace of him. So security cameras picked him up on that bicycle going into Central Park. And he was very savvy because he knew to use that cover. There aren't as many cameras once you enter Central Park. And so he was able to, we believe, change his clothes and escape detection. And he is still on the run hours later. This shooting happened, remember, at 6:45 a.m. Eastern.
And Anna, as we understand it, Thompson wasn't even staying at this particular hotel. That's part of the level of detail that indicates that this was very well premeditated and planned out.
Exactly. And that he knew, the suspect knew the timing that Thompson would be coming over. It's actually pretty early, 6:45 in the morning, to head to a conference, maybe to have coffee. The shooter had that intelligence and was 5 minutes early, waited for him to walk by, and as soon as he passed him, that's when he took his shot, Lana.
Does that indicate something then to authorities about a motive?
Well, this is the big question.
I mean, you hear a CEO of a major health insurance company and your mind starts thinking about different...
Absolutely. They're certainly looking. This is a major corporation. The stock price is extremely high. There's a big pot of money in the healthcare industry, and United Healthcare has a huge chunk of that. So that is obviously, there are investigators looking at the white collar elements of this, but it also could be a personal dispute. All of these questions remain unanswered. There was a cell phone recovered at the scene. It is unclear if it was the suspect, but that forensic effort is now underway as well. Of course, investigators are interviewing the family that just learned of this shock today, and apparently he had been receiving threats, but he didn't deem it enough of a threat to hire security. So he traveled from Minnesota, his home in Minnesota, to New York City without security, and clearly was staying in the hotel as well without security, despite those threats.
All right, Anna, thank you so much.
Thank you.